What's up? Week 16 Eve show. Getting ready for all of your fantasy football questions for week 16, your championship week. Let's get after it. I got Dr. Raj yelling in the background. He won't make it on the show, I don't think so. He could try and dial in. But Dr. Raj is screaming. Listen to this. The Niners just kicked a field goal to win the game. And Dr. Raj shows that feed on his Instagram. And as you can see, he's playing it. And he is excited, let's just say, to say the least. He's getting amped up. He's ready to roll. What's up, Damon? What's up, Michael? What's up? Michael's first, as always. Dr. Raj is yelling. Let's hear Dr. Raj yell. He's yelling. Get after it, Dr. Raj. Come on. He's on his live. He's about ready to dance. We'll see if he does some kind of break dance. We'll put that on. We'll go live to Dr. Raj breakdancing, because he usually does when they win. Let's kill the music for a second and then get back into the. Actually, let's do the intro by Dr. Raj dances. Top 5 running back.
You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
Okay, so Dr. Raj is getting ready to do his break dance. The 49ers just right this very second kicked a field goal to win. RSF 49ers will not be joining us tonight, but we want to shout out to Dr. Raj, who's our usual guest on Saturday nights. I'll see if he's going to dance here in a second. I'll cue that down and bring it to you once that happens. Merry Christmas to all of you. I've got my Santa hat on. I don't know how many shows I'll do before Christmas, so I know I'll go live in the morning. I'll wear the hat then, the trusty hat. And then I don't know when I'll see you again. I might be on Tuesday. We'll see. But it is time to talk week 16, try and help all of you. Oh, here we go. This is live on Instagram. This is live. That's a boy. Dr. Raj going crazy. He doesn't know he's live on the Fantasy Football Show. He has no idea he's on youtube.com/the Fantasy Football Show. But I'm showing him he's live. He's got 5,000 people sitting in his live right now as he breaks down, does a breakdance to Return to the Mac. That's right, boy. Actually, he just went off. So there you have it. That's Dr. Raj. Probably won't join us tonight. He's going to be breakdancing till the break of dawn. So, anyway. Let's go live on IG so they know that we are here rolling for the Week 16 Eve show. Mark with the super chat right out of the gate. Computer, where are you at?
Thank you for the super chat. May I have another?
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you, young man. Mark has always been an amazing part of this show. Back at the club, can't hear. I got put out last week, but I totally love Sleeper, you, and all of your shows. Thank you, Mark. Mark, can you read my lips right now? You're the man. He's at the club right now, so he can't hear me. All right. Instagram, you're watching over in the corner, peeping over there. We're at youtube.com/the Fantasy Football Show if you want to get in on the mix, talking week 16. I'll look over at you, try and answer some of the questions over in the corner here. But if you want, to get a handle on the real show, get on over to youtube.com/the Fantasy Football Show, where it's interactive. But I don't mind having you guys stay here. 3 great games is right, killer. 3 great games today. In another Super Bowl because of you, Kyler Murray or Tannehill. I'm going Tannehill. But that's kind of a risky play. Kyler Murray's probably safer. Boone or D. Washington. Dried Ocean. Dude, that's tough. Boone, I think, but now that Madison may be playing, we don't know what's going on with Madison. That's what I have right here. We're going to talk about that. So as of right now, probably Boone. Brissett's dad says, "Shut up, Smitty. Sorry I haven't been in recent streams. Life has been getting in the way." That's okay, Brissett's dad. Can't watch this one either until later. Why is that, Brissett? What is getting in the way? Is your son over? Like, what do you have going on right now that this is not the most important thing to you? If it's family, I give you a pass. If it's work, not acceptable. You can ear pod that and listen. Seclan has no excuse. Seclan's probably going right now to get snacks. Dak or Fitzpatrick, probably Dak, unless there's news talking about that Dak is looking really questionable. Right now, it's up in the air, so we got to kind of wait. But I think I play Dak, but Fitz is safe if there's questions around Dak. So know that. So Boone, player him on screen. I said player him. Play him. Play him. Madison may be back. Derrick Henry's now questionable. Dion Lewis becomes an emergency go-get if you're struggling at running back at all and you need a running back savior. Dion Lewis might be your guy. He could flop too, but go get Dion Lewis if you're at all in need at running back, because he could get a bulk of the work in Week 16 and be one of those guys that just delivers for whoever starts him, and some underrated team beats the top dog team in Week 16 because they got guys like Dion Lewis and Boone and Perryman dropping biscuits all over the place. Watson and Hopkins busted today. That sucks. Landry's hurt. I got a lot of questions about, do I start Landry? Do I start Perriman? Hopefully you start a Perriman. Perriman was safer. Perriman had 100 yards. Perriman's been money. Perriman's been the go-to guy for Winston while Godwin and Evans have been out. But Landry's been in a lot of the questions that I've had on sleeperu.com Ask Smitty, where you guys email me questions and you say, Smitty, who should I start? This guy, break down my lineup, break down my roster. And it's been a lot of Landry, and Landry's hurt. Landry might need off-season hip surgery. What does that mean for Week 16? It means I'm worried about him. It means if I've got a better, safer option, I'm going with that option over Landry. Imagine winning with Dion Lewis in your lineup. I know, J Problem. Boone or Peterson in standard. Probably Peterson safer. Unless Madison ends up being ruled out, then I go with Boone. I think Boone is money. Booney. We'll call him Booney. That's okay. Booney's going to win you a league in Week 16 if he is the lone starter. If Madison comes back, I don't know what to tell you. It's kind of risky and up in the air at that point. Pick 3 in standard. Tim says, Tim, where is your question? Tim, where's your question, Tim? Tim, I don't see it. Post it again. I don't know. Daryl, what's going on, Daryl? MT says Mark is getting turt up at the club. He still have your excuse, Brissett's dad. What is Brissett's dad's excuse? Did we find it? I can't watch the other. I don't see it. He didn't give us an excuse. He's just telling us he can't watch it. Fitz or Cousins, probably going Fitzpatrick. No. Cousins or Fitz. What do you guys think on that? Let's do group think on that one. Cousins or Fitz? Who are you going with? Drop it. So opponent has Woods and Edelman, plus he has Lamar Jackson. Okay. Who has more upside, Juju or Kirk? Kirk. Forget about Juju for this year. Juju will be a good off-season conversation. What's up, Man is Life? What's up? Oh, we got some groupthink over here. Man is Life says Fitz, bro. Gallup or Hilton? I'm going Gallup. Sad I didn't start Woods. No problem. A lot of people sat him, but he was a decent safe play. So it depends on your options. Marquis, Brown, or Cohen. I'm going Hollywood, bro. Hollywood all the way. I love Hollywood Brown. I wish I would have had Perriman over James. But Perriman was money, man. Not to make you feel worse, but I mean, Perriman was like wide receiver 2 material this week. What's up, Ghetto Meekle? Okay. Boone or Washington. Again, PPR. It's Boone all the way if Madison looks very questionable, or if they say Madison's going to play, but Boone's going to get a majority of the work. But if Madison is out, Boone is a high-end running back too. Edgar says, please wipe your feet as you enter the room. Edgar's a smart man, so please hit that thumbs up. I do need a button for hitting the thumbs up. I need to get something going for that, or I at least need to have something on my soundboard. I do have this for anybody that makes a stupid comment.
Red alert. Red alert.
That is if anybody makes a ridiculously stupid comment, like, I'm not going to share the fantasy football show with my friends and family. That would warrant that kind of button pressing. JC, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat. May I have another?
JC's just super chatting, saying thank you for all the help this year. That's the man right there, JC. You're the man. Appreciate you. Let's see over Instagram. My opponent is playing Bell over Boone. Well, I don't know how that could work out. I let him at this point. I think Boone has a lot of upside, but Boone could burn everybody too. Let's not act like Boone's a lock, but Boone feels like the guy. He's either going to disappoint or he's going to play hardcore and win people leagues. It's one or the other. Adams or TY? Adams all the way. Adams. I mean, check the weather in the morning. Tim, Top Gun in the house. What's up, Tim? Yeah, Adams is in a dome, right? Yeah. Maddox. You don't sit Adams no matter what. Adams is a top 5 wide receiver, no matter whether or not. But yeah, isn't it a dome game? Let's see. Yeah, it's in Minnesota. So, according to the weather, Adams is looking at fantastic weather for this one. AP or Boone, I still got that flu cough going on. I imagine I'm going to be struggling for about another week or two, hacking up my lungs, trying to get the rest of this crap out. Pick 3, please. Jones, Cooper, Moore, Sutton, Woods. Or Sutton and Woods. You sat Woods. I got you. Pick 3. So Cooper, you got to play Amari Cooper. DJ Moore, you got to play him. And Julio. I assume you mean Julio Jones. Jones, Moore, and Cooper. You know, unless something's up with Julio. What about Allen Robinson or Devontae Parker? I go Parker, but that's me. Is A-Rob even... Let me just make sure A-Rob... I'm starting to hate Week 16. I don't know about you guys, but it feels a lot like Week 17 used to feel. I would not be shocked if people start talking about, like, how do we avoid Week 16 now? You know, fantasy football, for those of you... A-Rob is playing so good, though. He's got 125 yards, 14 targets last week, 7 catches for 125, 0 TDs in Week 15. Then he had 2 TDs, 1 TD, 1 TD. He's on fire. But Parker is too. I go Parker, but that's me. That's me. What's up, Wolf? I wouldn't start DJ. No one's starting DJ, right? Please don't start DJ. Well, Greer is trash. I don't know if he's trash. I kind of like Greer. You watch. Greer might surprise a little bit. And he may not. I mean, it's his first. He's going to get thrown to the Wolves, so he could look horrible. But I kind of like Greer. Greer is one of those QBs that I think people don't realize has a lot of upside. You know, like one of those guys that can kind of like Minshew came out of nowhere. Not saying Greer is going to turn into a top 5 overall QB, but Greer has that, okay, this is kind of crazy. Where did this guy come from? You know, or Tannehill, how kind of Tannehill kind of jumped onto the scene real quickly when people were doubting him. Greer, mark my words, Greer has that potential. It's hard for any QB to just get thrown to the wolves, so he could have a bad game. It doesn't mean I'm gonna necessarily be like, oh, maybe I'm wrong about him. I like Greer. I think Greer is decent upside. Watch him. He'll look good in spots. Hey, Smitty, happy holidays to you and your family. I need help with my flex. AP, Boone, Adam Thielen, Anthony Miller, and DJ Chark. It's so hard for me to sit Chark if he's like full go, but I don't know if we'll get updated enough to know that Chark is like unhampered. So I want to say Chark all the way if things look really good in the morning. But I'm going to say that Boone, if he's the lone starter, is probably the safest play you have. But Madison, it could play. So Chark for right now, and that might be a little risky because we don't know how healthy he is, but if he plays, I'm assuming he's going to play a lot. Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you for the super chat. May I have
Head
another?
scratcher for me, man. Pick 2, Miles Sanders, Nick Chubb, Boone, and Allen Robinson. Ravens defense or Seattle. Thanks, man. Thank you, Jordan, for the super chat. Always appreciated, my man. So Seattle against the Cardinals and the Baltimore Ravens against the Browns. Ravens, man. Ravens all the way. As for your 2 running backs, I'm going Miles Sanders and Nick Chubb and going with the running backs. I feel like Sanders is so solid right now. He feels solid. I had question marks about not necessarily him talent-wise. I think he's a good talent. But a situation, and the Eagles never stick with one running back, but they appear at the moment ready to commit to him, and he looks fantastic, man. I don't pull Sanders for my lineup if I'm you. You have to play Nick Chubb, and while it's hard to sit A-Rob, he's the odd man out here. Boone, if Boone was the lone starter, I could see you toying with the idea of playing him over Sanders, but I play Sanders, man. But you can't really go wrong. I like both of those plays. Thank you, Jordan, for the super young man. I'm going to grace you with the wave. Thank you, Joseph. Hit the thumbs up on your way in. I really appreciate it. Instagram, where you at? Boone or TY? I'm going Boone. Dalvin will sit out. That's no question about it, Dookie. We're not talking about Dalvin. Dalvin's not a part of this. It's Madison that we're worried about. If I misspoke at any point, I'm sorry. But no, Madison might play now. So it's like, will Boone get all the work? Will he not? We don't know. That's the dilemma here when it comes to starting Boone. Not anything to do with Cook. Boone or TY, again, I'm going Boone. Stay on the news, though. Miller or Chark or AP. I'm going Chark. Stay on the news, though. Singletary over Washington, but the Niners need to get the dub. See, started Singletary. Yeah, Singletary flopped. What are you going to do, man? I mean, Singletary flopped. Watson and Hopkins flopped. Not much you can do about that. Clock says Sanders or Mac. That's a good one. Probably going Sanders if it's me, but I find a way to get both of them in my lineup, man. I know you're probably looking at that being impossible, but what's up, Joseph? Pick 2, Chubb, Sanders, Drake. I'm going to go Sanders. Oh, God, I don't know. Drake. What do you guys think? Group think on Mikey's question. Chubb, Sanders, or Drake, pick 2. Instagram, you can help too. Scott with the super.
Thank you for the super chat. May I have another?
Brown, A.J. Brown, I assume. Boone or Washington half PPR. I'm starting Brown. A.J. Brown is a man that is going to turn into a monster by next year, and he's looking so good right now. I'm not sitting him. I'm just not. I preface that saying that if Madison's out, Boone is probably as safe. But with the Madison potentially playing news, I'm going with A.J. Brown. You don't play Brown versus Ladd. Brown, that's the one thing is I get people want to not play, elite, and I consider A.J. Brown an elite, turning elite wide receiver. I think he's going to be. But players move all around the field, and it's not always the recipe is, he's facing this D-back, he's not going to do anything. If Boone is, like I said, if Boone is the only starter, if Madison's out, then I could agree with you as Boone being as safe, or maybe even a little safer, and A.J. Brown being probably higher upside, but maybe a little bit more risk. But if Madison's playing, how is there not risk there? You know what I mean? We shall see. A.J. Brown is also going to get spoon-fed in a way that I think is going to result in production. I feel like he's going to score. And if he has 60 and a touchdown on a bad game, that's the kind of bad game I'm looking at. Madison might start. That's what we're talking about. Hog, and that's why Boone becomes a little bit risky. If Boone is the only starter in the morning, if news breaks that Madison's not going to even play, suiting up as a backup or a emergency type, role, then we're talking about Boone being even a little bit safer. But still being the same, I think, upside as AJ, or same tier for week 16 starts. I would say they're in the same tier. AJ Brown is a little more risk. Boone will be safer if he's the lone starter. What are we doing on that Drake question? What was that question again? I just clicked close, damn it. Where was it? Mikey's. Pick 2. Sanders, Drake, and Chubb. Groupthink this. What are we doing? I'm thinking Sanders and Chubb. And I don't like sitting Drake, but I don't like sitting Drake at all. I find a way to play both, Mikey, but if you can't, I guess I put Drake on the bench, but that's a really, really tough one. Boone or Eckler? Eckler, man. Eckler. Boone, if he's by himself, probably an even play. But Eckler is a guy I'm not sitting. Sanders and Chubb, says Jordan. Jordan Young says Sanders and Drake. A.J. Brown or Gallup? I'm going A.J. Brown based off talent, but I do like Gallup this week. And if you can find a way to get both in, I love both. Sandra and Chubb, says Maddox. Chubb and Sanders if Jordan. Yeah, I agree. Sanders and Chubb to me. Diggs or Boone for flex. I'm going Diggs, my man. If knowing what we know now. How many finals are you in, Smitty? I think I'm in. I got to check on 2 leagues I haven't even looked at if I won last week. I've got so many leagues, dude. It's like my priority is content first, and then there are 1 or 2 leagues that, because I've done them so long, like there's one I do called the Dirty Dozen, and I've literally done it for 16 years, and it's become like a pretty high profile in the industry league. I do a lot of like Instagram leagues, and like sometimes I haven't checked my lineup. Like I try to set everything like on a Thursday night right before the Thursday games, and I'll be completely honest. I'm scaling them back this next year. I play in so many leagues that I literally every like third week I check and there's like 2 or 3 teams that have somebody like Fuller who's out and in my lineup, and I do a shitty job managing a few of these Instagram leagues that I jumped in last minute, and I've got too many leagues. Content's my priority, not playing in a league. But in a lot of my big, high-profile expert leagues, I'm in like 2 or 3 finals out of like 5 or 6 of those, and these are like legit. These aren't like, Instagram page leagues. These are like fantasy football site, like monster content site, leagues that I've done for 16 years, 15 years, 10 years. And one of them I've won like 3 or 4 years out of the 16 or I think 4, which I think of the group is at least tied or second place for the most wins in this league, and I'm about to win my 5th championship in that league, so I'm excited about that one, and I know what's going on in that league, but I'm in so many leagues, it's like I gotta cut back. Chubb is an easy sit. Think about game script. I'm okay with you sitting Chubb and going like Drake and Sanders. If you had Drake, Sanders, and Chubb, I could get on board with that, but I'm probably not sitting Chubb. I mean, imagine sitting like your first round. He's literally a first round talent. Your first round talent in the final game, and he gets 2 scores and 150 yards. Like, what are you gonna do with that? You're gonna be so pissed at yourself. I just got saved horrific defense by. Yeah. Better keep next year Devin Singletary or Chris Godwin. Godwin, bro. I mean, I'm not even caring about your 6th and 8th round difference there. Like, Godwin's people are arguing he's a first round pick, and Devin Singletary, could be a 4th rounder, 3rd rounder, 5th round, like between 3rd and 5th. Like, not even. That's like take a lap, bro. For asking that one. Take a lap. Take a lap. But take a lap. As you take your lap, pat yourself on the back for that stellar drafting, you beast. But yeah, come on, dude. Godwin. You're this is that guy that's trying to ask that question, so people are like, dude, how'd you draft that, you awesome drafting man? Benching Chubb would be a huge L. I agree. I mean, Drake and Sanders are pretty darn good, guys to roll with. But yeah, I'm not benching Chubb for Drake. I just can't do it. I'd rather lose the right way than try and live with that and be like, damn it. Yeah, Chubb matchup proof. Almost, yeah. Almost, hog. I had Godwin in all 4 of my leagues, says Jordan, because I predicted him to be a top 10 wide receiver. Nice job. What's funny is I had, Scott with the monster super, bro.
Thank you for the super chat.
Scott.
I have another.
Scott, you pimp. Thank you, Scott. Doing a great job, man. Keep up the happy holidays to you and your in the chat. Thank you, Scott. Scott, where have you been? Scott's the man. Scott, if Miss Spitty wasn't sleeping, I'd ring this bell like a bat out of hell for you. But I will wave the pimp cane over thyself and bless you with the Christmas spirit from the Fantasy Football Show. Thank you, young man. Scott dropping the beast of a super chat. We're going to keep Scott's comment up on the screen in the corner. And Scott, I don't know if you know this, Scott, but the high super chatter of the night is getting a seat in my 96 team league. Are you interested, Scott? Because if so, you are the leading contender for that seat. You are the leading contender, my man. And you will get a spot in the 96 team league. No entry fee. There's no money. But there are all kinds of giveaways like a Kindle Fire, signed Amari Cooper jersey. The prizes and sponsorship are to come. Don't you worry. Man's life says, he was right on Carson and Lamar. Congratulations. Dude, Lamar looks legit. Riff with the super.
Thank you for the super chat.
I bench Woods
May I
and
have
Perriman
another?
for Diggs. You like Diggs? I do like Diggs. I would have probably had a tough time with Diggs over Woods. I would have put Perriman in, but Diggs and Woods would have been close for me, just being honest, and Woods went off. So I'm just letting you know. I wouldn't feel bad about that. Diggs was a very tough call there. Perriman, I probably would have played overall. You know, he would have been the number one ranked, but Diggs could still have a day, bro. Diggs is like 90 and 2 TD capable. So why not 69? Garrett asks. Because what I'm doing, my friend Garrett, and you might just be trying to be funny, is it's a let's see how many. 1 second, let me calculate something. Yeah. So it's 96 instead of 69 because I have 8 copies of every player in the draft pool. So 8 copies of every player, 8 times 12, 96. 8 times 12, 96. So 96 picks in each round. So the first round and second round turn is 96 and 97. If you have the bookend picks in this draft, you have picked 96 and 97, which means you'll be drafting like a Devontae Adams and a Leonard Fournette at your 96 and 97. So what MT said, yes. Perriman could have had an even bigger day. Winston missed him, yeah. Smitty, I need 2 flex for tomorrow. Sterling Shepard, John Ross, Boston Scott, Greg Ward. Probably like if Shepard's everything looks good and he's healthy and everything. I don't think John Ross I consider, but Boston Scott maybe or Ward with Shepard. But that's a tough one. It's a tough one, Joe. Chubb or Parker and flex. Dude, or Boone, you don't bench Chubb. I like Parker, but you find another way to get him in your lineup. Started Winston today. I'm down 36-15 right now. Sorry, man. Did Scott answer if he wanted a spot? Scott, where are you? Scott, appreciate the pimp wave. Scott, are you in the league? Do you want a spot? You're the high super chatter, and the highest super chatter gets one of the 96 spots to be in this league. It's a long draft. There'll probably be a 2 or 3 hour timer, which is pretty short when you think about it. But I'm gonna warn everybody: you need to pre-draft. With being that, like, if you're at pick 45, given that there's 8 copies of every player, you should have no problem pre-drafting and making sure you're, not sleeping and having an auto pick. There probably will be a lot of auto picks. I don't want to hear any complaining or can you put this pick in for me? No, you miss it, you get auto pick. Tough stuff. I'm not changing anything for anybody. I'm aware about that, and yes, interested in the 96 league. Scott, paste your email into the chat here. It'll be held in moderation, so it won't show it to everybody. But please paste your email in the chat, and I will put you in the league. Yep, if you want in, highest super chatter of the night's gonna get the spot. Drew, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
Kind
May
sir.
I have another?
Chark or McLaurin. McLaurin I probably put in to be safe until put him in and wait. And then I kind of think, like, if news breaks where Chark is looking like the man, and not going to be hampered or limited, that you switch it out to Chark. Thank you for the super chat, Drew. You were the man. Instagram, I'll be back in a minute. And Jordan with another super. Jordan, let me get to your super chat in 1 second. I'm just trying to get on over to get that comment or that email address from Scott. All right, let's see here, Scott. Smitty, you can't triple stamp a double stamp. That's true, Mikey. You can't triple stamp. Computer, can you triple stamp a double stamp?
Here's something I found on the web. According to c.edu, double or triple perforation, a situation produced when a sheet is accidentally perforated more than once in the allotted space.
Computer, stop. Computer, give me a Dumb and Dumber quote. Computer, give me a Dumb and Dumber quote.
Here is a Dumb and Dumber quote. According to the map, we've only gone 4 inches.
Computer, give me a Dumb and Dumber quote.
Here is a Dumb and Dumber quote. According to the map, we've only gone 4 inches.
Scott, put your email in the chat and it will be held in moderation. I'll even delete it after, but post it in the chat, please. Who would you play at flex, Hunt or Tyrell Williams or Boone? If Boone is the lone starter, I'd go Boone, but it sounds like Madison could play. Hunt would be my backup if Boone's going to share work, you know. Let's see here. Sunday Eve show. Okay, sorry, I'm just saving something. Don't give Mixon away. He's a top 5 to 10 running back next year, says Jordan. I don't know what the deal was. Let me look for that trade. That's an interesting comment. I want to see what's going on. P.S. Okay, here we go. It's all about sports is asking. Oh, Jordan, your super chat. I'm sorry, man. Starter Hollister instead of Higbee. You think Hollister could top his 19-point performance in full PPR? If I had to go back, I would start Higbee, and I wouldn't roll the dice and go Hollister, I'll be honest, because that's a great game. But I think Hollister could still be a top 6 play this week. And if there's another part of that question, let me know as it's closed it out on accident. Riff, thank you again for the super chat. PS says it's all about sports. Thoughts on moving Joe Mixon in 2020? I think he has a potential to be a top 5 value, an improved offensive line. Thoughts on Joe Mixon moving into... Yeah, so if I like Mixon probably around 12 to 15 overall. I like him a lot more heading into 2020 than I did 2019. And he's looked good down the stretch, so I'd be okay with him. I just don't know if I'd make him my first drafted player. And I might take a lot of flack for that. People will be like, Mixon looks great, but Mixon failed the first half of the year. So hit the thumbs up on the way in if you don't mind. Computer, say hello to my ball, Zach Ertz.
Sorry, I don't know that.
He won't. Sorry, my ball. I tried. Madison, Boone, or Washington. Probably Boone of those. Merry Christmas. P.S. I appreciate you. Or Garrett. Garrett, you're out. Later, Garrett. Yeah, Mixon at the end of the first is okay. I am telling you there's a chance, Mikey. Computer, are you telling me there's a chance?
Here's something I found on the web. According to schnoz.com.
Computer, stop. Computer, take a lap.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Computer, stop. Okay, where is... I'm looking... Oh, here we go, Scott. Thank you. I got it. Let me add you to the league, Scott, while I have you here. Rodgers or Tannehill? Rodgers, man. I like Tannehill this week. Honestly, I do, but I'm definitely think I'm rolling with Rodgers. I don't sit Rodgers. Okay, let me set up this email address for you. Get you a spot. Let's see here. Scott Barclay, YouTube. Got a lot of YouTube people representing. And your email address, which I won't read. Scott, congratulations. You're headed to the ball, young man. Get ready, Cinderella. Rodgers, he plays great against Minnesota, says Jordan. What do you think it would take to try and grab him, or should I just shoot for players in the draft? So you're talking about trading for Mixon in Dynasty. I don't know that I would pay anything more than the 12 to 15 overall value, meaning I'd rather have Hopkins, meaning I'd rather have, obviously, everybody from Barkley to Cook to Kamara. Kamara's arguable, but Kamara would be a guy I'd rather have. Rather have Adams. Evans and Godwin are arguable. That kind of value for Mixon. But I could see people wanting both wide receivers over Mixon. Mixon's right there. That's where I value Mixon. The weather will be nice in the dome, says Maddox, for the Green Bay game. Pick 3 for non-PPR. Chubb, Aaron Jones, I assume, Boone, and Eckler. Sit Boone. Put in Eckler, Jones, and Chubb. And don't look back. Drew, those are your best guys, the guys that carried you. If Boone is the lone starter, as I keep mentioning, then and only then do I consider Boone as good a play as Eckler. If you know what I mean, bro. All right, let's get Instagram back. We got no food. We got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off. Can't wait to be the belle of the ball, says Scott. Scott, you are on your way. Scott will be the belle of the ball. Dress accordingly. And do I have an outfit that I'm going to wear in my next promo video. You just wait and see. You'd rather a Baby Yoda over Mixon, says Fantasy. Yep. I love Mandalorian is freaking awesome. Who's not watching that show? Mandalorian's great. I haven't seen the preview yet. Does anybody know the name of this? If you do, let me know. But on Disney Plus, they should be releasing, I believe, a Darth Vader kind of series similar to The Mandalorian, but about Darth Vader. I don't know if it's about his beginnings or what or how it's going to even work. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or if I have that wrong or if somebody told me some wrong info. But that's awesome because Mandalorian's been a huge success, man. Disney Plus, if they keep producing all these little series, man, I'm gonna be ecstatic. Mixon could be the top running back. A lot of different teams this year, says Kyle. Really liking what I've seen out of Anthony Miller. Says it's all about sports. He's peaking, and going into next year, he could explode as a late round value. I like Miller. I liked him a lot as a rookie, so surprised I'm not more on board. I like him, but I'm surprised I'm not more on board given how much I liked him as a rookie. He just has taken so long to sprout. Do I think Melvin Gordon bounces back this week? I'm not trusting Melvin until he's in a new home, new uniform. And even then, it depends on who. There's going to be one called Kenobi about Obi-Wan. Okay, maybe it wasn't Darth Vader. Maybe it was Joe. That's why I was asking, because I kind of felt like it could have been. I could have been misinformed on that. So it sounds like it's going to be Kenobi. Miller won't go late rounder next year. Miller could, I mean, I'm not saying Miller's going to be this good, so please don't take this out of context, but Godwin, back in January and February, I was one of the first people on Instagram and YouTube to produce content on Godwin, saying that Godwin was going to break out in a major way in 2019. Now, I will say that I eventually started to pump the brakes on the hype. And I admit my wrongs. I admit when I, goof or whatever, or don't see somebody coming like Lamar Jackson, I didn't see coming, to be honest with all of you. I didn't feel he was going to be as good as he is, even close. And that's me being honest and real. Godwin, I was the only one producing on Instagram and YouTube with terms of like one-off videos on just a player, doing a spotlight on Godwin, saying this guy could be a monster steal, and he's going in like the 6th and 7th round. And then all the hype started developing when they said he was going to catch 100 balls, and then he climbed into like 3rd round value. And I admit, I actually was like pumping the brakes on where his ADP settled, and I was like, I loved him as a late round guy. I'm not saying Miller is going to be like that, but if anybody thinks that a guy can't go from like 6th, 7th, 8th round material to like 3rd, all it takes is a comment by a coach, and look what happened to Godwin's value. Godwin was he was still a bargain in hindsight, but he was not looking like a bargain anymore. He's looking like a high risk, high reward. Like he still had high reward, but a high risk, high reward player, given how much hype was behind Godwin. But boy, did Godwin deliver. But I absolutely loved him at 6th and 7th round value, which was short lived, but it was present in January and February. And how many rings? Mac wants to know how many rings the Rams. What? Bro, all of us put up points, and both offenses are subpar. You guys having a little fight over there on Instagram? What's up, Tyler? Lamar Jackson was the most polarizing figure at times. I had him top 10. Other times I had him outside the top 20. I don't know, man. Freaking big year he had. Lamar Jackson heading into my mock draft and heading into, I think, pretty much everyone's rankings will be top 12. Not everybody, but a lot of people. There's still a lot of people that say I won't draft a QB in the first, 3-4 rounds. And that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that approach, but Lamar deserves to be a top 12 ranked player. And whether you want to avoid the strategy, I get it. But if you aren't willing to say, hey, this guy is a top 12 overall talent rankings wise, you're not watching right now. Guys, he definitely is deserving of that. But that doesn't mean you have to take a quarterback early. I like both approaches. The waiting on a QB approach is how you got Lamar this year. It's how you got Pat Mahomes, and he was my number one bold prediction for 2018. That's how you got Pat Mahomes, is waiting on a QB. That strategy is great if you're good at landing those late QBs. But don't think for a second you can't win just as easily through a early QB build by taking Lamar at pick 12 or Mahomes at 18 overall next year. It's all on how you build your team, and if you land those sleepers where people are taking the QBs because you took your QB early. It's like the most ridiculous argument in the world. I hate when people say you can't take a QB early. That's a recipe for disaster. No, it's not. You take Lamar at 12 and somebody takes, let's call it, let's use a wide receiver to make it simple. Let's say they take Adams. So you take Lamar, they take Adams, and then where they're taking a QB like Winston in round 6 or 7 or whatever, you take next year's Ridley or, look at like if you landed Chark and those receivers. If you land that player paired with your Lamar, you're sitting in a better position if you land that player. It's just a dumb argument to say that it's not a viable strategy. Like, both are viable strategies. Waiting is definitely... You guys hear me talk about this a lot, so I won't waste more breath on it. Lamar has higher floor than Mahomes, but same upside. I don't know if I'd say that, Kyle. I mean, you can argue that. I'm not going to say you're wrong, but I think Mahomes being hurt this year kind of softened his value. And that's great, as long as he doesn't tear it up every single game in the playoffs, and have a monster game on Sunday, and just look like the player we all thought he would all year long. If he has a decent year, or finishes out the year decent fashion, like looks great, then he has a mediocre game, then has an amazing game and a mediocre game, or whatever, or at least has a decent. 1 or 2 games where he's not like the most fantastic player on the earth, then I think he walks into 2020 very underrated, because people are going to assume that, Kyle. And I don't think you're necessarily wrong. I just think that I feel like Mahomes, if he was healthy, would have. He hasn't been right all year, 100%, and he still looks amazing. Like, imagine if he had not gotten hurt. Aaron Jones or Mike Boone in standard. Come on, man. You're not going to be able to live with yourself, Jesse, if you bench Aaron Jones and he goes nuts and has 4 TDs. I get the appeal on Boone, but we don't even know if Boone's going to be the lone starter. As of right now, it's up in the air. QB point differential are the same as any other position, so top QBs have value over. I agree. Aaron Rodgers is going to drop off hard next year, Tyler says. Could. But he could also bounce back. How do you see the tight ends being ranked in 2020? Oh, boy, what a weird year for tight ends. Kittle, Kelsey, and then, I think those are your second round capable tight ends. And then literally it's like Ertz is still there for another year or so, but I think it's Waller, it's Andrews, it's Hunter Henry is going to be in the mix, but always hurt. Top 5 will be in order: Lamar, Watson, Mahomes, Wilson, and Breeze. I could see that. I like the names you have in the top 3 or top 4. I just think it might be a different order. Mahomes 2. Mahomes could be 1. I think that's why I love Mahomes next year, because he's going to be cheaper than Lamar. Although I want to own Lamar in at least 1 league. I'll tell you that right now. Can Mecole Hardman become a viable wide receiver 2 in KC? Mahomes should be able to sustain 2 wide receivers. Yeah, definitely. And Hill is not immune to missing time. I love how phones autocorrect Mahomes to machines. Yep. Mahomes is a machine. Mahomes will thrive next year. I agree, P.S. I started Pyramid over Sanders. I'm happy, says Spencer. Great job. Why are you going to the airport? Flying somewhere? What's up, Nicholas? Glad to have you here. DJ Brown, Odell, or T.Y. Hilton in standard. DJ. You mean DJ Moore? Or you mean AJ Brown, I think. You said DJ Brown. But I go AJ Brown, bro. AJ Brown. Boone. Odell. Probably Boone. But stay on the news on that. Started Perriman over Singletary and Boone. Nice work. Perriman was safe. Safe as can be, man. Going to hang out by the bar. Put out the vibe, says Chuck. AJ Brown equals beast, says Mac Jewel. I agree. If Kyler gets a line, he'll be as scary as Lamar. He could, man. Thing about it is Lamar took a little time. You know, Lamar, a lot of people didn't see Lamar coming, and that's because he didn't look as good the year prior. Like he needed time. So Kyler looks really good for not having that time yet. And some QBs take longer than others, but to think that Kyler can't be that good, I mean, you're right. He could. What's Legion have against Evans? Evans is a bum. He means bum. He put bun. How many spots left in the 96-man league? Probably like 40. I still got a lot to give out. Can Calvin really break out next year? Absolutely. How high does A.J. Brown go next year? I wouldn't be shocked if A.J. Brown started going in the 3rd round, but we'll see. Why is Evans a bum? Evans and Godwin are both hurt right now. You can't say anything bad about injuries right now. Like, oh, well, Godwin got hurt too, man. Made it to your finals. Nice job, Eric. Can I join the big fantasy league, Smitty? Mac, I have a contest going. I just gave away a spot to the highest super chatter of the night so far. So that's one way to get in. It's not the only way. You don't have to like buy your seat or anything like that. I just to big supporters of the show, they're getting in. So just supporting the show. I also have a contest going, Mac, that a lot of people aren't entering. So it's everybody's own fault. The spot's there for the taking. And all you got to do is I'm probably going to extend it two or 3 days. So into like Wednesday, maybe submission before Christmas morning, let's say. Or no, I'll even say at the end of Christmas Day, the submissions will end. But you submit a video clip. It could be 4 seconds. It could be 15 of you promoting at the Fantasy Football Show. So what I've told people is walk into a freaking Denny's and be like, I want the Fantasy Football Show sandwich, and I want it now. scream, go into a biker bar and yell at the fantasy football show. What are you all going to do? No, not do anything dangerous. But, something like that. Just a video clip of you promoting. Go on over a freeway overpass with a sign that says at the fantasy football show and have somebody film it. And so that will get you, into the vote. And some of the submissions have been weak. So until Christmas Day. So drop it like it's hot. Put a video clip in my inbox. DM me that video clip. And the best submission is going to get a spot to the dance, man. Wiping my feet into the championship week 16. Attaboy, Brandon. Never bench Kamara, says Kyle. I agree. Never bench Kamara. Kamara has had a bad year, but as I talk about in my most recent Dynasty video, or video on Kamara, I talk Dynasty and redraft. He's an intriguing player for 2020, one that I won't corral in every single league I have, or even more than 2 or 3. But I'm going to go grab him in 1 or 2 leagues because I think he's going to have the potential to be a freaking steal. Can I repeat? Can you repeat what? The instructions for how to get a seat? Just submit a video clip of promoting at the Fantasy Football Show. Whether it's you holding a sign at a freeway overpass or at a corner that says at the, don't forget Fantasy Football Show, at the Fantasy Football Show. Best video clip, creative, whatever, funny, of you promoting my handle. Specifically youtube.com/the Fantasy Football Show. That would get you even more, voting weight from me. But submit it. What do you have to lose? You walk into a Denny's, you scream at the Fantasy Football Show, you go down a mall escalator yelling at the Fantasy Football Show. Do something crazy. Promote the show. Signs would be great. A sign at the mall, a sign at a freeway overpass. All right, guys, I am going to call it. Dr. Raj didn't join me tonight because he was, breakdancing from the win. But I will be back in the morning. Someone answer Wing Bill. What did Wing Bill ask? I got Boone. Opponent has Madison, but they play on Monday. So do I just go ahead and start DeAndre Washington? Thing is, man, if Boone is the lone starter, I think Boone's going to go crazy. If Boone's sharing carries and if Madison starts, then it sucks, man. You're getting screwed off of a potential really good situation going bad. So, Wayne Bill, until we know more, I don't know that I could even give you great advice because of that game being late. I would say Washington's safer, but Boone has way more upside in my opinion. I've got Anthony Miller, Hunter, or Slayton for my flex. I'm going to go Slayton, but that's me, Brandon. I imagine a lot of people might tell you that Miller is safer, and he could be. Early morning, you're getting a super chat. Thank you, Brandon. I'll be looking forward. I always appreciate it. Not expected, but always appreciated. Washington in that case, says Kyle. Is Boone over Mixon? No. Legion, I hate to do this to you. Take a lap. Not that Boone can outscore him. Anybody can outscore anybody, but you find a way to get Boone into a flex. Mixon should be your running back 1 or 2. So I just feel like that's not even the right conversation. Play both? Sure. But you don't bench Mixon. You don't bench him. Bro, in the semifinals, I scored 160 and lost. Don't talk about semis. Spencer, is that PPR? What's up, Tyler? Also, Snotty. This is how Tyler gets my attention. Also, Snotty, just wanted to let you know I lost in my semis, but thank you for all of your help. I'm going to send you a matchup. I got killed, LOL. Sorry to hear that, bro. I don't like hearing them when my people lose. Lapping now, says Legion. But I'm not saying I like Boone, bro. I like Boone, but we just don't even know if he's getting all the work. It sounds like Madison could play. See you in the AM. Thank you. Hit the thumbs up on the way out, guys, if you haven't already. Only 42 thumbs up. Come on. All right, I'm peacing out. I appreciate everything that you guys do, all the hard work, all the promotion and spreading of the word. The bigger we get, it's not just about numbers for me, but the bigger we get, the more I can do, the more I can bring you, the longer shows I can bring you, the consistency of like having a 10 to 2 show, having a, maybe it's 10 to 2 on Monday, to Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it's freaking like, 9 or 7 at night to 10. Like I could do a daily show if we get this thing big enough. And we're growing fast. I mean, we haven't even been up a whole year. It hasn't even been 10 months, and we have freaking close to 4,000 subscribers. So we're rocking it. But let's multiply that thing by 5 and 6 come August, all right? But I need your help to do it. I'm outie. I appreciate every one of you. Oh, I gotta hit the outro music. As always, the super chat resets the music and extends the show. In the ship, and everyone who got me there is injured. No Cook, no Jacobs, no Godwin. Sean, that's why you gotta stay active and pick up the Perrimans, pick up the Boones, pick up the AJ Browns. You're better than the Headliners channel. Thank you, Paul. They obviously are doing some things right, but I do feel like this show is the best. I know I'm biased, but I feel like the more people we get, the better it's going to get to. The more I can do, the bigger guests I'll have in. I mean, having panel of awesome guests is the way to go. I'm not afraid to bring anybody on this show. Apparently, a lot of people are a little timid to bring you on their show, and I hate that. Like, I'll bring anybody on this show. We've had the fantasy footballers on this show. We've had a lot of good people on this show. We had what's his name? Harrison, Chris Harris Football. He was interviewed by the dude in a promotion that I did on the show for this summit that we did. We've had a lot of awesome people come on the show. I'm not afraid to have all those people on the show. I'm not afraid to have, I'd even have the counselor on the show. If he dialed up right now, I would have the counselor on. I didn't open up Skype because I bet you anything there's a chance that that Dr. Raj would have called in. But I appreciate that. I do feel like we're better than the Headliners, but I do like them. I do respect them. They're obviously doing some good things, and they obviously are growing in the right way. We just started, though. I think we'll be bigger. I think we have potential to grow faster. I think they went like this. It was like, and then this year they went from I think it was like 29,000 to whatever they're at now. I think we could do that. I think we could easily do that. Once we get to 10 or 15,000, we could quadruple, quintuple that stuff in like one season. I'm not seeing him. Okay. I'm out. I'm out of here. Yep, the doc will be on. We'll have Dr. Raj on. I'm trying to get him. I don't think he'll be on every Saturday in the off season. Who knows? Maybe he'll want to. But definitely want to see if he'll come on a regular basis during the off season as well. So you'll see that. All right, peace out, everyone. I appreciate all of you. You guys rock. Thank you, Instagram. And thank you, YouTube. And congratulations, Scott. You're going to the ball, Cinderella. Don't forget us when you have 20K subs, Smitty. I won't, Mikey. And that's the one thing is like you watch some of these channels that have they have a lot of people, you know. They'll 50,000, 60,000, 25,000. But compared to like we used to go live, I think some of those channels that were like 50 to 80,000, they'd have like 1,500 people in their live during the hardcore part of the year. We had 800. We only have 3,800 subscribers, and we were reaching 500 to 800 people in our lives during the middle of the beef of the season. And that shows like that we're freaking doing something right. So if we get the same volume as some of these bigger sites, and we get 20K subs, whatever, we're gonna be huge. And some of these people have like a lot of chat. Like I have my chat goes like this. Pretty fast. Like if I talk for a second, the question's asked a lot of times, especially during the year when there's 800 people in there. Right now we have 30 to 100 in the live, and so the chat's a lot more easy to read. But even when we're at 800 and it was going fast, man, I can read that crap fast, and I can do it for hours. So it's like some people will be like, okay, we're going to go through the chat and answer some questions for like 30 minutes. Like I do it the whole show. You won't see that change, Mikey. I might get to less of them, but I'm still going to read everything and go through and help you guys constantly. So it's not going to change. The show will only get better, I promise. All right, I'm out of here. Later. This time I'm leaving.